Hey all, so UK FanFest 2023 has come and gone, and it looked like it was a ton of fun. What made me super envious is that Hironobu Sakaguchi was there to regale the audience with tales of working at Square and his adventures in Final Fantasy XIV. I just think that it's so cool that the father of Final Fantasy is a 14 fan. He says that he spends a third or more of every day playing this game, and he raids, he crafts, he has fully become committed to this game. And you know, as a huge fan of Final Fantasy and all the games he helped create at Square, it just feels so cool that this absolute legend is playing and enjoying the same game and content that I do. So yeah, really cool FanFest, but for this video, I wanted to focus on the things that made me excited for Dawntrail, and I think the best place to start is of course with the new job. So, you know, I just love the way that we are introduced to the new jobs. Our first experience with them is in the extended trailer, where we get to see them in full CG. I just think that is such a great way to show them off. And for Dawntrail, we see our hero pull out two swords in this epic looking fight, and you instantly realize this is the new job. This looks awesome. Like, when I was watching this for the first time, it was 4 AM in the morning, I was practically on no sleep, my coffee wasn't even ready yet, and there I was, eyes glued to my computer screen, and then, just like for Endwalker, Yoshida comes out on stage in full cosplay of the new job, and he honestly looks like he was born to be a professional cosplayer. Not only does he have great stage presence, but he also fully commits. Anyways, the new job is called Viper, and it's a completely original job created for Final Fantasy XIV. And from the gameplay that we've been shown, it looks like it was inspired by Star Wars combat, in particular Form 7 Juyo, which Darth Maul famously used in The Phantom Menace. Now, what perked my ears up is that they said Viper is going to be a demanding and complex job, and that they spent a lot of time developing new gameplay for it. So this might be purely wishful thinking on my part, but I would love it if Viper used an energy bar and combo point system. I just love having to manage your resources like that, keeping an eye on your combo points and energy, and then using them wisely to do damage, while also keeping yourself buff and debuffing the enemies. It's actually something I've been missing with 14's combat. There are no jobs that play like this right now, so I think it would make for a pretty unique job. So, one of the biggest updates that is coming with Dawntrail is the graphics overhaul. During the keynote, Yoshida actually spent a decent chunk of time showing us the painstaking amount of effort they are putting into this. And the example he used was for a very subtle thing. They were touching up the way that the shadows interacted on Alalafel's chin. That is something I doubt many players would have ever noticed, but it just goes to show how much effort is going into this. And this wasn't the only subtle change in this update. During a panel after the keynote, the developers went into much more detail. One that blew me away is that light now interacts with characters' ears. So now when there's a light source shining through them, you can see the tips light up. So another subtle change is the way objects now interact when being seen through glass, such as how they magnify when being seen through glasses, or bend and distort when viewed through an odd-shaped bottle. Now, of course, not everything is a subtle change. The character models are an immediately noticeable upgrade. And since the last showcase, they actually have been refined and improved even more. So when we look at the new character models, we can see that the resolution for the hair is vastly improved, the faces have a lot more texture to them, and the most important thing is that they still look like the characters we know and love. They didn't want you to log in after the update and hate the way your characters looked. Which is something I can relate to. It happened to me in World of Warcraft when they updated their models. I hated the way my rogue looked afterwards, and it really sucks when a character you spent so much time with is now something you can't stand to look at. So besides the updates to the character models, they are also updating the shaders, so not only will textures have more details and higher resolution, they will also interact more realistically with light and have better reflective properties. So we saw this put to great effect with armor. The higher resolution and added details look fantastic, and then seeing the way light reflects off it adds even more depth. I actually think the best showcase of this is the before and after of an aetheryte crystal. It's such a massive difference. Seeing something like this makes you really want to revisit all of your favorite zones, just to see what the new shaders do to them. So there's also a pretty big update coming with the fog, and the big showcase for this is with Charlion. It's kind of amazing how just a little bit of fog can completely change the look and feel of an area. But the biggest eye-opener is with the new zones. They look amazing, especially the forested areas. The new grass effects look fantastic in them, and with the update, they are able to put more objects on the screen, so the forests look full and lush. And then you add on the fog and the way the light is coming through them. The art design and visuals are coming together to create some beautiful looking areas. So the last thing I wanted to gush on is the Final Fantasy XI crossover Alliance raid. Final Fantasy XI is actually my first MMO, and I still have a lot of fond memories of playing it, so of course, this was a very exciting announcement for me. And the idea of seeing zones, enemies, and characters being reimagined in 14's engine, with Soken remixing the music, it almost sounds too good to be true. So yeah, those were the things that interested me the most. I will say, the only thing that kind of disappointed me is something they mentioned in passing regarding the MSQ. So Yoshida asked the audience, which Scion do you want to be paired up with? And maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but the implication seemed to me that we don't get a choice. And I know that it's hard to give those kind of choices in an MMO, but what can I say? I was still kind of hoping for it. So yeah, that was really about it. The next big updates will be during the Tokyo FanFest in January, where we'll learn more about the new caster job, and much more I'm sure. The expansion is planned to release in the summer, so yeah, soon we will have brand new content to delve into, new graphics to admire, and of course, new music to catch on to. Anyways, that'll be all for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. What are you most excited for in Dawntrail? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, have a great day, and until next time, bye!